We are at the entrance gate off of Spring Tree, and we are going back to the east, leaving the gate area here, and we are approaching the south retention pond. And now we are heading south, filming the west side of the road. And again, we are heading south along the south retention area. Now we're coming to the end of the south retention area, filming the south roadway across from the retention area. Now we're turning, going to the north, filming across the road from the south retention area. This is coming along building 16. Coming up to their sludge pit. Retaining wall, there's a lot of cracks in the retaining wall. Again, we're heading north. Now we're heading back to the west, filming the north side of the road across from the retention area. Now we're going to stop and we're going to film the inside of our retention area. Now again, we are heading south on the west side of the retention area. We are actually making the loop around the south retention area. We've got a couple of electric boxes coming up on our left-hand side. These are two electric boxes here. They look fairly new. Those are in the south retention area on the west side. Now we're coming to the south end, going back to the east. There's a patch in the middle of the road up here. As you can see, there's patchwork here already on the road. We're coming to another two electric boxes existing. Here in the roadway, there's some elevation changes in the pavement. Looks to me like some outrigger marks along here. Now we are coming along the east, heading north, coming along the east side of the south retention area. Now we're going to turn back to the west at the north end of the south retaining pond. Looks like they have their construction level of their asphalt paving down. Their manhole sticks up and their valve box sticks up about an inch above the pavement. This is existing. This is their existing, looks like a possible little small lift station. Okay, we are leaving the south end of the south retention pond, going back to the west, going around. This is a possible route for some of our trucks leaving the plant. Still heading to the south, getting ready to kind of turn back to the southeast. They've got some cones here and washouts here in the road. A speed bump coming up. Existing fire hydrant, job box container. That's on the north side of the road here. They have some of their Pool and Kent trailers inside. Looks like a parking area in here. Coming by some of their tanks. Still heading back to the east. Still heading east, shooting the north side of the road. Okay, now we are approaching the well that is a possible source that we will be using during our injection tests. They got some things capped off here and plugged here. Looks like some new stainless pieces. Rust and some patchwork on the concrete. Some of the concrete around the stands. Got this part here partially painted. Some little bit of rust spots here and there. We're on this, I guess that would be the south end of the pumps. Now we're on the east side. Here's their panel. Just some little holes around their bollards. We're on the east side of the pumps. Or the well, I should say. PVC. And then this is leaving this area, going back to the north, heading back towards you can see the football stands on the other side of that tank. We are now traveling back to the west from the pumps and the well that maybe will be impacting on the injection test. We're traveling back to the west. Again, that's back to the west. And we're shooting this south side of the road. Existing fire hydrants, some of their concrete ponds. We got some pavement missing here in one of their inlet tops here, pavement in the road. Looks like they have some asphalt missing or some structures along the road. Looks like possible little pump station or lift station again. Some piping. Marks along the bottom of the concrete wall there. Looks like there's some, probably looks like lawnmower marks all the way across the bottom of that wall. Another structure out there in the grass. Looks like another little inlet of some sort. Now we're heading back to the east, making a turn, coming back to our south retention area. Broken up pavement at different elevations from the new pavement being installed to the old pavement. Coming up to our retention area again. All right, we're going east, traveling east from the retention area. Possible truck route. Coming back to the east. Now we're going to do the south side. That was the north side of the road. Now we're going to do the south side of the road, and we are traveling now back to the west towards the south retaining pond. All right, now we're going to the north on this possible truck route. We're shooting the west side of the road, traveling north, coming up to building number 15. Road patch in there for a crossing. Looks like some new pavement up around that valve box. Still traveling north. Electric panels. Coming back up to their sludge area. Coming up to the crossroad that's at the north end of our south retaining pond. Now turning left, traveling back to the west towards the entrance gate. Coming up to the retaining wall, which is all cracked up. Okay, now we're leaving the north end of the south retention pond, and we're traveling back to the east, shooting the north side of this road that runs around the sludge area. Some elevation changes in the pavement, where it looks like they're going to tie their new pavement into the existing pavement. Retention area over to the north. Looks like they got a pipe crossing the road where that cone is located. That's on the north side. Now we are traveling making a turn, and we are heading south, and we are shooting the east side of this road. That's a possible truck route. Coming up to the crossroad that is at the south end of the south pond. Traveling past building 15. We're still traveling south. Still a possible truck route, still some pavement cracks and lines and a few gouges in the pavement. And coming up to the end of the crossroad. All right, we're traveling north, and we're on the north side of the south retention area, heading north towards the existing gate. There is the retention area. We are filming back towards the west. This is the west side of the road, coming up to the first large tank. Again, this is a possible truck route coming to the north, and you can see some cracking or just some peeling on the tank towards the bottom. Separation, some peeling on the concrete. Looks like they got an inlet coming up. We'll shoot some of this on once we get by it. The dirt and stuff going by the inlets. This is the still traveling north. I'm gonna pan around and shoot that dirt and stuff that's going towards the inlet back. Across the road. Coming up to the first gate. Looks like an entrance, main entrance gate. Turning back to the east. Second gate, exit gate. Filming the north side of the road heading east. Got some patchwork, looks like electrical crossing the road. Still heading east, getting ready to turn south. And we're filming the east side of the road. Coming up to an area of construction. Looks like they have the pavement stripped through here. A lot of work going on. Traveling south, still filming the east side of the road. Dirt speed bump. Stands at the high school. We're now traveling, turning back to the west. Shooting the south side of the road. Okay, now we're going to turn to the north and we're going to shoot the east side of the road, heading towards the entrance and exit gate. So we're heading north, shooting the east side of the road. Again, possible truck route. Some oil spots in the road. Coming up now, getting ready to turn right at the entrance and exit gate on 44th Street. Turning back to the east and shooting the south side of the road. Some dirt in the gutters alongside here. Plastic corrugated, looks like maybe a roof drain there. Retention area. Coming up, getting ready to turn to the south, traveling along the far east side of the plant, and we're going to shoot the west side of the road, traveling south. Traveling south. Shooting the west side, building 7. Now turning, going back to the west, shooting the north side of the road. Heading west, coming up to the intersection that's just north east of the retention area, south retention pond. Okay, we're at the entrance gate, existing entrance gate on 44th Street. Now heading back into the north retention pond to be filled. We're going along the existing block or concrete wall. Again, we're going actually this little short piece that runs north. Now we're going to go back to the west along this edge. Trees here where our trailers are going to be located. Now we're heading towards the west along 44th Street wall on the inside of the plant. Coming up are the two panels to be removed. This would be panel 1 here that we're looking at to be removed. Then back to the west a little bit, this should be panel number 2 to be removed. This will be where our entrance road will be located. This is the area where our substation will be located, and that's the poles coming down. Substation location right here in this area. Looks like newer light poles with electric boxes in front. Coming along in this corner here, we believe we're going to be one of our water sources for our trailers. Is the 2-inch pipe coming over the wall. We believe is going to be our water tie-in. Now we are turning to the south and walking along the fence line. There is a well to be abandoned. And this is Poole and Kent's drain pipe. Heading south. Here's the second monitoring well to be abandoned. Again, the electric box out in front. And at a lower elevation on this slope. Two more electric boxes in front of this pole. And at a lower elevation down on the slope. Here's the inlet that needs to be removed. This is the existing inlet to eventually be removed. Coming up to the end of the fence on the southwest corner. This is the building we're turning back to the east. This is the building that's going to be demolished. They got some busted corners up on this concrete. Wall. Some more chips. Valve pad that's skewed and bent over. This is the inlet that we're going to be tying our 18-inch pipe into. Looking back towards the building, looking to the south, another valve box that's up in the air, above grade. Heading back to the east. Electrician's material to be removed. Existing mitered end section that's going to be removed, and a box location. Then coming along the east side of the building to be removed. Coming up, and this will be one structure here that is located between the two retaining areas. One to the retaining area to the south and a retaining area that we are going to fill. This is where they've made a, looks like they've installed some new pipe below their storm. We will be cleaning back to this structure, back to this inlet here. Now we're heading back to the north along the east side of the north retaining pond to be filled. These poles are to be removed by the electrician. Some construction and conduit being installed. Now coming along, going back to the north, along the east side of the north retention pond to be filled. Looks like they had some unistrut at one time, got some clamps, some anchors in the wall here. Existing valve box sewer. Coming up towards the north, we're going to start filming around the tank. Now filming the tank going to the north, right along the east side of the retention pond. And we're going to stop for a second, and we're going to go over to the existing inlet. Or actually, it's a mitered end section to be removed. And also a new box being installed in that location. Now back to the tank. They got a couple little concrete holding areas. It looks like possibly acid. A little acid station. Walls are cracked. Chips. Now going back up to the tank, coming along the tank, heading back to the east now, going around the tank. Another city tank to be removed. And another concrete containment pad. Cracks in the containment wall. Coming around the corner, starting to head to the south, going around the tank. Coming back around the tank. Okay, we are now at the structure. It looks like a tank, square tank that's just south of our round tank. We are located on the east side of the retention pond, traveling back to the east towards the piping that may be impacted with our injection tests. Traveling back to the east, some lines in the wall. Coming back towards the piping. Coming around the piping. Coming back to the east. Now filming back towards the west, towards our pond, the north retention pond. That structure is a chlorine contact basin number 5. Coming back along the piping. Back along the piping here, going back to the south. This is a structure again in the southwest corner of the retention pond that we're going to be tying our new line onto. Now we're traveling back to the west. This section here will just be a section that eventually, from that structure, one structure downstream that'll have to be cleaned later. We're traveling back to the west. That looks like the existing storm pipe in the hole that they've excavated alongside. That's one of the pipe sections, 15-inch, that we'll have to clean eventually. Traveling back around the existing excavation, heading back to the west. Again, there's the storm pipe to be cleaned at some point. One section downstream from the box that we'll be tying onto. Still coming back to the west along the fence line. That looks like there's a inlet here, which may be the possible inlet that we have to clean to downstream of the existing box we're tying onto. All right, now we're leaving the site, going out the gate, heading towards Spring Tree Drive. Coming out the gate. Excavation here on the south side. Some storm pipe was removed. All right, turning left, going back Spring Tree towards University. Hitting the east side, medium and east side of the roadway. Again on Spring Tree, heading towards University. Filming back to the east. Heading towards University on Spring Tree. Traveling back to the 44th on Spring Tree. tire tracks along the road here by the valve box, washout. Fire hydrant location coming up. Inlet location, and looks like a little pump station of some sort. Coming up towards the entrance. Coming up to the main entrance, coming into the plant, heading towards 44th Street. Coming up, concrete curb all broke up along here on both sides of the approach. Valve box is cracked, raised up. Fire hydrant tilted. Coming up to the Citco station, setting on the corner. Wash out along the roadway into the entrance to the station. Now we're turning around at 44th Street, still on Spring Tree, heading back towards the plant entrance, heading back towards the main entrance gate on Spring Tree. Coming back up to the entrance. Now crossing over the media. We are now at the Citco gas station, walking to the south along the building. And we're on the east side of the Citco station, walking south. Coming along, there's the playground with the existing concrete wall, cracks along the wall, cracks here, cracks in the corners. Now heading back to the east, now turning, going back to the north along the existing wall. Cracks, some separation in the electric line down at the bottom. Looks like it's some kind of electric conduit of some sort. Existing inlet box. Coming back up along the wall, going towards 44th Street. Cracks on the wall here again. Paint falling off. Now this is a location we believe is going to be our water source to the trailer. There's the valve box. There's a 2-inch water line just coming up over the wall. Again, believed to be our tie-in point. Okay, we're at the corner of Spring Tree and Northwest 44th Street. Traveling back to the east, traveling along the sidewalk in front of the Citco, traveling towards where our entrance road is going to be installed. Cracks in the sidewalk. Sidewalk cracks here, curb, sidewalk. A few cracks in the existing road. Again, this is where our water line is to our trailer feed. Now picking up the existing wall on the northwest corner, traveling back to the east. Concrete power poles coming up. One is tilted. One slants one way, one slants the other. Tie-down cables are
These are optics. That right there's an optic.
optic cable coming down in the ground. Still traveling back to the east, past the two panels to be removed. Now we're coming up to the entrance gate to the plant on 44th Street. Coming back up to the entrance. Coming in towards the gate. Coming over back to the east. This would be the existing exit gate. Now traveling back to the north out to 44th Street. Now we're turning, going back towards Spring Tree. We're going to pick up the edge of the road here and then pan across to the medium. Cracks in the curb on the medium. Coming along the road edge. Along the road edge, still some chips and cracks on the medium. Section of curb missing in the medium. Coming past the area where our entrance is going to be. Coming down, looks like there's a dip in the roadway edge. Some cracking out in the pavement. Cracking along right in the center lane. A dip here. Looks like where something may have crossed a utility road crossing. Coming down towards the station. Just a reflector spot missing.